The man behind the theorem. A long time ago, no, a very long time ago. No, a very, very long time ago, like ancient. Yes, a boy was born in Samos, Greece, around 575 BC. His name was Pythagoras. Because he was part of a high-class family, he was afforded an education. Much was happening at that time. You see, until then, most people believed that gods like Zeus and Athena created the world and controlled it through weather and phenomena. It was Thales, a teacher of Pythagoras's, who introduced mathematics to him. He also proposed that the universe was created by natural occurrences. This rocked everyone's minds. But slowly this radical idea gained attention and popularity. Greece became the hot spot for budding philosophers and mathematicians. Pythagoras left Greece to study in Egypt. While he was in Egypt, Persia invaded and captured Pythagoras. They took him to Babylonia. He is thought to have visited India before returning to the Mediterranean area of Croton, Italy, where he established a school for his followers. His teachings were new and different, and it was a way of life, not just a curriculum or subject. Some people liked them, and others did not. It could be because they practiced a lot of rituals and sacrifices. Pythagoras had a fundamental belief, and that was the relationship of all life. He taught that there was a universal life spirit present even in animals and vegetation. It includes the idea that the soul never dies and is destined to a cycle of rebirths until it is pure. At that time, the soul is led to salvation and freed from the cycle. Pythagoras also asserted that life is controlled by opposing forces, limited and unlimited. He called this dualism. Science was becoming a new field of study, so this idea was quite innovative for the time. Pythagoras also gave a lot of credit to the strength and value of numbers. He believed that they could uncover the secrets of the universe and give shape to matter. He specifically honored the number 10 because it was the sum of the first 4 integers. He is thought to have said, "All is number," meaning all things of the universe had a numerical attribute that uniquely described it. There are 2 interesting findings about Pythagoras that are worth mentioning. The first is that moral discipline was valuable to him. He expected his followers to practice a vow of silence in order to master self-control. The other is that he taught that all property and ideas are communal or shared. Keep in mind that Pythagoras has no surviving, if any at all, writings. Everything we know is through the works of great philosophers and mathematicians, such as Aristotle and Plato, Xenophanes, and Heraclitus. And there are conflicting accounts of information. In actuality, very little is known of him. Now, here's a doozy. There is no evidence whatsoever that Pythagoras even proved the theorem which bears his name. Say what? How even? Yes, it is a common belief among historians that Pythagoras may have brought this idea from Babylonia or India. Dated 1900 to 1600 BC, it is indicated that the knowledge of the theorem and its triples that satisfy it are on Hammurabi stone. The theorem is also mentioned in Indian writings from 800 to 400 BC. Euclid, born some 300 years after Pythagoras, included the theorem with proofs as Proposition 47 in his best-selling book, Elements. He is attributed without question for extending the theorem to apply to all geometrically similar shapes. The Pythagorean school endured for several hundred years after Pythagoras' death, which was in 495 BC. He is remembered as a religious scholar as much as he is for being a mathematician, scientist, and philosopher.